It is my honor and my privilege to join you here tonight. And it is more of an honor and a privilege to introduce the person that I'm about to. In my first week here at the IC, I was sitting in Imam Khalid's office, and there was this bright, bubbly, sassy student who walked into his door. And as I was just watching her, the fabulosity honestly was dripping off of her. She began to make me smile and laugh, and yet I could see this very deep underpinning of seriousness. And the way that she began to joke and chide with Imam Khalid, I knew she was no joke to be played with. I then began to see her again when I attended the BMI meetings, the Black Muslim Initiative. And subhanAllah, to see the gentleness, the care, the sisterhood, and the power that she brought to that meeting, the level of peer leadership, how she could galvanize those women, organize them. She was clearly the commander-in-chief in that room. And I began to see the light of her future. I want to first tell you now she's currently an intern at the Brennan Center for Justice at NYU Law School. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, he belonged to an organization called Hifl Fudul, which was a collective action for those who were disenfranchised, for those who were oppressed, and for those who had no connection to power. In the last 2 years, our beautiful sister, Aesetou Hydara, has been following in the footsteps of our beloved Messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam, doing just that. Making sure that even as a student, she walks firmly in his footsteps, galvanizing students to make sure that they have a space where they feel represented, uplifting her sisters and other Muslims, and not only for herself, making sure that she joins other organizations and other diverse groups so that they can also feel supported by her level of genius. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the awardee for tonight, Aesetou Hydara. For inspiring us through your words, your actions, and your example, and your fabulousness. Congratulations, Aesetou.
Wow. Thank you, Sheikh Aisha, for that beautiful introduction. I'm so flattered. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So nice to see all of your beautiful faces. And I'm so honored to stand in front of you today. Since I was a child, my parents instilled in me the importance of having compassion, love for my deen, and perseverance. They taught me that true success is not simply gifted to individuals, but those that work hard and do their best despite the obstacles that lie in their path. I continue to see that in the way they live their lives and encourage me to do so with my own. I grew up witnessing my parents' resilience, and I remember my mother working 12-hour shifts while she was pregnant with my youngest sister, and yet she would stop at nothing to ensure we had all our needs taken care of. Yimima, that is who my mother is. If you know me, you know how important the women in my life are and how much I draw from their presence and grace. My mother has always been and will always be my strongest symbol of strength. I don't know anyone else like her, who has endured what she has, yet remained unwavering in her spirituality and kindness. My big sister, my second mother, and my beautiful aunts inspire me every day with their humanity and all they accomplish despite the many hardships they face. It is this perseverance despite the difficult situations and obstacles they face that allow me to embody the resilience and strength that I have today. Growing up in the South Bronx in a predominantly Black and Hispanic neighborhood was more of a struggle than I'd like to admit. I was stuck in a public school system that was underfunded and understaffed, Throughout high school, I envisioned a life where I could make a difference in my communities and believed pursuing institutions of higher education was possible for me. And alhamdulillah, it was. When I first started at NYU, the lack of people who looked like me was intimidating. I sincerely felt I did not belong here. In my classrooms, I could be the only black hijabi in a sea of whiteness. In my struggle to find a community at NYU, I resorted to seeking solace in my religion. And so I believe I could find that space at the Islamic Center, a space to build my spirituality. However, I found it challenging when I also noticed that there was a lack of representation, not just amongst the staff, but in the community as well. The predominantly Arab and Desi communities struggled to understand my experiences, and I found it very difficult to relate. Fast forward to my sophomore year, when my friends of mine who were also black and Muslim founded the Black Muslim Initiative, BMI. It was ultimately because of a lack of understanding that surrounded the black Muslim community and our lack of a space to speak on those experiences. If I look at the person I was during my freshman year, I would not recognize the person I am today. My last 3 years of NYU have been filled with self-discovery and self-awareness. For me, assuming the multiple leadership positions I have on campus have encouraged me to confront the self-doubts that tried to keep me from understanding the potential I had to achieve beyond the box that I tried to contain myself in. I've had a lot of people ask me how I'm able to juggle everything that I'm involved in. And I'm so grateful to have such amazing people that surround me. I have such beautiful and knowledgeable mentors like Dr. Ifra Magan and Sheikh Aisha Prime. The staff at the Islamic Center, Amira, Hana, Sheikh Fayyaz, Sheikh Suhaib, Imam Khalid, have always been kind enough to address my concerns and create an environment in which I felt comfortable to become myself. I know I can always count on them. And last but not least, the amazing group of companions I have made, they know who they are, and I have a special place for you in my heart. Thank you for teaching me how to take care of myself, for uplifting me, and for empowering me. For me, I'm always trying to do the best and be the best in any way possible. And it's important that I surround myself with people who elevate me, who lift me up and not drag me down. In this complicated life journey of discovering who we are, I learned that my best accessory in life is being vulnerable. Vulnerability is the hardest thing I've had to give, but the most fulfilling in discovering my strength and power as a black Muslim woman. I would like to thank my amazing board for sticking by me and creating all of these amazing events that we have. And inshallah, we're able to create more. Hawa, Soraya, Mariama, Diaka, Jacinta, Jamal, you should be all so proud of the role that you play in educating and uplifting this community. One lesson that I learned here that I'll always be grateful for is that I'm independent, but here I learned how to ask. I learned how to rely on others and ask for help when I needed it. I learned to ask for resources to better our community. Ultimately, I'm grateful for all the experiences I've made in this community. It's by Allah's grace and mercy that I'm able to have these opportunities and be honored in this space with you all. It's been a long journey for me to arrive at this point in my life, and I don't take it for granted. BMI has become such a big part of my life, and I'm so blessed. And lastly, if I do not do this, my board will kill me, so I have to. We're having our second annual Black Muslim Symposium on Saturday, February 29. The IC has sent out emails, including the RSVP link. So you will definitely be doing yourself an injustice if you miss it. This event will highlight the erasure and impact of the Black Muslim history through a deeper lens. What is that sign? Oh my God, I cannot with you guys. Okay, you see? You guys, I really do not deserve all this. Oh my God, thank you so much. That is amazing. I love you guys too, thank you so much. Well, thank you all for listening. Assalamu alaikum.